Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, it's another week and another big low on its way into the New Zealand area. Look at the air pressure map. Everything you see in purple and dark colours is low pressure. The brighter white, high pressure, way out over Australia. So we've got that sinking feeling once again in the New Zealand area. A deep low down here. Central air pressure into the 970 hectopascal range, right down towards 970. Might even get to the 960s for a time. The lower the air pressure goes, the more unstable the atmosphere is. So we've got plenty of showers and downpours and some isolated thunderstorms coming into the mix as well. So here is the rainfall totals for the next 3 days coming up. The areas that are going to see heavier rainfall totals in here in the purple and blue colouring, the bright blue in particular, which is getting up to over 100 millimetres. So that's possible in this northeastern corner of the North Island. The blue you see down here in Canterbury, right at the other end of the scale, just a couple of spits, couple of showers, nothing much. Some areas might be completely dry over the next few days. And over on the west coast, the rainfall totals aren't quite as big as you might imagine with a big system out here. That's because most of the showers are lining up for the North Island. So this is Thursday's setup. Look at this big deep low. It covers all of this area. But as I said the other day, it's splitting off some of its energy. You can see a secondary low forming out to the east, spreading some of that energy out to the eastern side, and then that will push down to the Southern Ocean. So ultimately that means this big low will start to weaken now. So it's at its biggest now. So look at all the isobars off towards that big high in Australia, but also pushing in westerlies over the North Island. So pretty blustery, showers coming through, some heavy with isolated thunderstorms, isolated squalls, and maybe some hail showers in the mix as well, although mostly dry around the eastern half of the South Island. Now look at lunchtime Thursday. This just gives you a better understanding of all the different components that are going on. We've got blue in the mountains indicating some heavy snow in there. We've got this red and brown shading, which is thunder showers or thunderstorms, same thing pretty much. That doesn't mean all of that area has it, it just means that's the risk area. So any isolated thunderstorms are going to be in this area with red, potentially getting up to Auckland a bit later on in the day as well, and the winds fairly brisk coming in from that westerly side. Here's Friday. So the low, as I said, has weakened. The other part of it has dropped off to the Southern Ocean. This is all low pressure though, and the windy weather, the squash zone between the big high and the low, which means most of the strong winds are actually out over towards coastal New South Wales. Not so much around New Zealand, but some of the showers will be squally, which means even though the wind overall may not be that bad, you can get a very damaging gust, very localized with some of those downpours, as we've seen in New Zealand over the last week or two. The other feature, there is a cold southerly change arriving behind this system. So that starts for you on Friday, and on Saturday it spreads nationwide. It's also fairly dry on Saturday, other than showers blowing through. It's a bit of a windy day with those southwest winds, and the low that has gone out to the east is now deepening again quite quickly back down into the 970 hectopascal range, which is how we measure the air pressure. So that is getting deeper, which means it might just fuel those winds a little bit longer around New Zealand as we get in towards the weekend. Now, the couple more maps to go. Here is Sunday's setup. We've got another cold front moving up New Zealand, so a burst of rain or showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm and hail shower in there, and it heads further north. A windy day coming for you on Sunday in a number of parts of the country. And our final map is for Monday of next week, and westerlies. That's the theme. That's why we're saying spring's pattern, the weather pattern that is, has started to arrive already, and that is defined by changeable temperatures up and down. One day's cold, the next day's warm, and plenty of windy westerlies, which dries out eastern areas but brings rain into the west. So that's your forecast, what we like to call dynamic. Lots going on. We'll see you again tomorrow with the very latest.